Have you ever wondered who's really pulling the strings in your favorite game? Who decides to launch that new season or create that awesome character skin? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the secret mastermind steering the ship, the modern game master.
Now, you might be picturing some lone creative genius, or maybe a suit in a boardroom somewhere. But the truth is, the real power belongs to someone who has to be a little bit of both. They're a strategist who dives deep into data like a scientist, but also a leader who has to rally the team around a creative vision. That's the person who's really running the game.
So, let's give this role a name, the game manager. This person, often a senior product manager or producer, is the true owner of the game. They're the one walking the tightrope, balancing the creative side, like game design, with the analytical side, like marketing and data. And they're doing it all to create something awesome for players that also works for the business.
Okay, so how on earth does one person manage all of that? Well, their job really breaks down into three big areas. You've got leading the present, crafting the future, and learning from the past. It's this constant, delicate dance between keeping the ship sailing smoothly right now while also charting a course for an amazing tomorrow.
First up, leading in the present. This is all about being the captain on the bridge, managing the day-to-day. And like any good captain knows, before you can go anywhere, everyone on board needs to agree on the destination.
That destination is what we call the product vision. Think of it as the team's North Star. Without it, you've got people sailing in all different directions. It's chaos, and that leads to a confusing, messy game for players. A really clear vision helps guide all those thousands of tiny decisions that get made every single day, making sure everyone is rowing in the same direction.
And the game manager has to get all of these different groups on the same page. You've got artists, engineers, marketers, data scientists, the whole shebang. But here's the kicker, and this is so important. They're not actually the direct boss of most of these people. So how do they do it? It all comes down to building trust and leading by influence, not by authority.
So how do you build that kind of influence? Honestly, it boils down to one simple mantra: do whatever it takes. The best game managers are the ones who roll up their sleeves. They're problem solvers. They clear roadblocks. They just do what needs to be done to help the team. Because at the end of the day, the highest priority is actually making the game.
Okay, so the ship is steady, things are running smoothly. Now, a great manager starts looking out at the horizon. This next part, crafting the future, is all about figuring out what to build next to keep the game exciting and growing.
And that's where this product development cycle comes in. It's this awesome, repeatable loop for turning ideas into reality. You gather ideas from players, from data, from your team. You build the feature, you release it, you analyze how it did, and then you do it all over again. See, a modern game is never really finished. This cycle is the engine that keeps it alive.
But here's the thing, right? There are always a million great ideas floating around, way more than you have time or people to build. So how do you possibly decide what to work on? You can't just go with your gut. You need a system. You need objective ways to figure out which features are going to make the biggest difference.
One really powerful tool for this is the RICE framework. It's a simple way to score any idea. R is for reach. How many players will see this? I is for impact. How much will it move the needle on our goals? C is for confidence. How sure are we about our estimates? And E is for effort. How hard is this thing to build? It's a fantastic way to cut through opinions and focus on what's most valuable. Or if you want something even more visual, there's the effort impact matrix. I love this one. You just map out all your ideas on this simple grid, and boom, it becomes crystal clear what your quick wins are. Those are the high impact, low effort gems. And it also shows you the thankless tasks you should probably stay away from.
All right, so we're managing the present, we're planning the future. The last piece of this puzzle is learning from the past. A manager has to learn from every single voyage. It's like using data to read the stars, to figure out what worked, what didn't, and most importantly, why.
In modern games, data is just everything. It's not just a bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet. It's the ultimate tool for settling arguments that used to be based on gut feelings. It's a health monitor for the game, letting you know if something's wrong. And over time, it's what really trains a manager's intuition to make those big, game-changing bets. But here's a crucial point. Data isn't one size fits all. You have to tell the right story to the right audience. For the dev team looking at a daily report, the question is simple: is anything on fire right now? But for studio leadership in a quarterly review, it's a much deeper, more strategic story about long-term goals. Same data, totally different conversation.
Of course, sometimes things do go horribly wrong.
What happens when you wake up, check the dashboards, and a critical metric has just fallen off a cliff and nobody knows why? Well, that's when you call a code red.
Now, a code red doesn't mean everyone runs around panicking. It's actually the opposite. It's a calm, methodical process. You start by clearly defining the problem with data. Then, the team brainstorms every possible thing that could be causing it. You investigate the most likely suspects, and you just keep digging until you find the root cause and fix it. It turns a potential crisis into a focused investigation.
So, you're juggling the present, you're crafting the future, and you're learning from the past. What does it all add up to? It's not just about keeping the game running. When a manager does this right, they become something much, much bigger.
This is it. This is the ultimate goal. A great game manager isn't just a manager. They are a force multiplier. So what does that mean? It means their job isn't just to manage tasks, it's to make the entire team more powerful and more effective than they would be otherwise.
They do this by making sure everyone, from the newest artist to the lead engineer, understands that North Star vision. They empower the team with clear goals and the data they need to make smart choices. And they unite all these different, brilliant people to work together as one. They literally multiply the team's talent, letting them achieve incredible things together.
And as games get bigger, more complex, and more competitive, this role is only becoming more critical. So it leaves us with one big question to think about. What's next? What are the new challenges on the horizon, and what new skills will these modern game masters need to lead the way? Because the answer to that will shape the future of the games we all love to play.